Good morning, friends, followers, subscribers, and my army of Trevorites. Yes, thank you very much for continuing to support my channel. And if you're watching this video right now, you know what I'm thinking, don't you? Anyway, watch this video right now, and you haven't subscribed, why not? It's free. Yes. And it's Thursday. The weather here is not really good, actually, but it is what it is. Yes. And I discovered something which I'm going to share with you. I spoke to my parents, which I speak to every single day, by the way. Yep. As children should, if you have parents and you're lucky enough. And I was told, Trevor, what's good for your plants is get a thing of water, I'll call it a jug, and get your old banana skins and cut them up and put them in there and mix it in and leave it for about, my dad said leave it for about 2 weeks or so. Let it filter into the water and then use that on your plants. It helps the plants grow. So I've been doing that. This one's not doing too bad, actually. I'll let you see it. This one's sort of got a little bit of life back, so I'm really pleased about that. Anyway, where are we? Thanks for your emails. Thanks for all the information. Thanks for everything you send me. I do appreciate it. I've got a great team around me. I've got a circle which is like kryptonite. Nothing's getting in there. So thank you very much. Yes. It's really, really good. It's actually nice to watch people lose their shit on social media. Yes. Why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? Well, I can't mention names because if I do mention people's names on here that have YouTube channels, they then put in for copyright strikes and things. So I don't mention them. And that way, you don't get that type of shit happening to your channel. Just letting you know. But what I will say is, I was going to talk about Markle, and I thought, you know what? No, don't. Why? Why? She's a non-entity. I know she's someone's. I know that she's someone's. But I ignore it. But there's loads happening in the UK, people. Like Baroness Moon. Yeah, Baroness Michelle Moon. Yeah. Well, she's been caught lying, hasn't she? I will not benefit from any of the PPE for MedPro. I will not benefit any of it. Couple of months later, her husband moved £29 million offshore into an account. But did you not see what it? Well, you know, we may have benefited a little bit, but I'll not get it. My kids will get it, so I'm not benefiting. I'm not going to benefit, but my children might. Yeah, they'll benefit, not me. You're still benefiting, aren't you? Yeah, well, why is she still a baroness, I'd like to know, and why is she not in jail? There we go. There we go, people. People that commit fraud should be punished. Let me point that out. Yes. And if you're lying about what you're earning, at the same time pleading poverty, should be punished as well. But anyway, what else is happening? Now, please Google this. And these stories come from what I've already read this morning in the mainstream media. And I don't go to The Sun and all that bullshit papers. That's where the morons go. I go to different types of tabloids and get my news. Right. The first ever airline, Finnair, based in Helsinki, has started to weigh its passengers. Yes. Over 500 people have taken part and thought it's a great idea. But the obese people are angry because they're embarrassed. Well, if you're that embarrassed, lose some weight. That's all I'm saying. Now, an airline bringing that in, I think it's a great idea. Because if you can't fit in a seat, maybe you should pay for 2 seats. That's just my opinion. I'm not having a go. It's just my opinion. And I'm allowed to have an opinion still. I think, am I? Anyway, there we go. Now, I will point this out. If you are on a type of medication, which means you gain weight, then you should be able to give over the documentation to say, I'm on this medication, and you should be exempt any of this stuff. Medical conditions should be exempt any of this nonsense. But if you just like eating pies, well then maybe you should stop eating pies. That's all I'm saying, okay? Medical exemptions, completely different kettle of fish. Let's just point that out. And it looks like the mainstream media, you know, the media that go, we need to go to the war zone. We need to go to the war zone and report from the front line, and we need to let people know the news. Well, journalists like journalism unless it goes against their journalism. Yes, so they're all out now, aren't they? The EU, Europe are about to, they want to put sanctions on Tucker Carlson. Yes, Tucker Carlson is in Moscow. He's going to interview Vladimir Putin. Oh, he's interviewing the enemy. Oh, let's go. We need sanctions. The EU must put sanctions on him. Isn't that great journalism? Isn't that great freedom of speech? Where, you know, Zelensky been flying around the world. Yep, getting billions and billions and billions. Wolf, the GQ Man of the Year, Zelensky. Oh yeah, the brave guy. But, you know, he's been interviewed. He was interviewed. But no one's allowed to go and interview Vladimir Putin. That's against freedom of speech and journalism. It's nonsense. Let's see what he does first. Let's see what he brings back. He's going there. He doesn't even work for a network anymore. When he worked for Fox and he worked for different things, people are saying, oh, he's biased. He has to do with Fox. Then he gets sacked from Fox and he opens up his own company, his own thing. And now he's back. How can he be biased? What's he biased towards? He's his own boss. I would say let him go and do the interview and see what we can find out. Yeah? It's like the West don't want anyone to know what Putin's doing. Yet we're trying to defeat him. Now, I'm not pro-Putin. I would rather that the war stop. It's quite clear from what I've been told in the media that he's carried out war crimes. And if so, he should be tried at The Hague. But let's just look to see. And let's just be impartial till we find out what's going on. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Yes. At the same time, UK defence officials are saying we are in a very testing time at the minute. In fact, I've got the words. We are living in dangerous times right now. We're on the cuffs of a war with either Iran, Russia, or China. Well, apart from the fact we have the worst politicians in the history of our country, of our nation, that have caused all this nonsense, then maybe we need to replace our politicians. If we replace our politicians, we probably would not be going to war with anyone. Our own government have depleted our armed forces. I mean, we're meant to be taking part in one of the biggest ever ally exercises right now with 32 nations. And the spear ship carrier that went out, belonging to the UK, had to go back in because it had rust on it. Yep, that's our biggest, greatest ship. Back in for rust. Yep, we aren't ready. Our Navy are shite. The Royal Air Force, we've got rid of most of our great aircraft. We stopped recruiting white pilots a while ago. Diversity. And our armed forces is a shadow of its former self. Where do we go from here, people? Eh? But listen, it's like the books. Together, both my books have now generated over 1,000 reviews on Amazon, and I thank you all very much for the continued support. Thank you to other YouTubers who stand by me and have got my back. Fiona, Graham, Sue, Paul, Gemma, Matthew, Anna, Rick Paul. There's so many great ones out there. And I must not forget Foxy. Foxy, what a great contribution he is to the YouTube community. It's amazing. But I'm still a little disappointed, people, because Paul the Fitness Hutch, he's still about 160 subscribers away from hitting that 3,000 milestone. And I think when you watching this video and you get to see it, go and subscribe to the Fitness Hutch. Help him reach 3,000 subscribers. It would be amazing. You'd make my day. Anyway, listen, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks so much for your support and stay safe.